All right, welcome back to Old Plastic. Today I'm going to do an unboxing video, and we're going to talk about some related pieces that I have. This is from the POTF2 line, and yeah, it's kind of a neat piece. Little little homage to Lac Siverac up on the slope. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I got a package in from eBay that I bid on, and I'll show you it and a few items that I have that are similar to it, and then a few other very interesting Power of the Force 2 figures. I know there's not a lot of interesting Power of the Force 2 figures or variants or rare items or expensive items. There just isn't in the Power of the Force 2 line. I mean, with a few exceptions there are, but they're just not known. Alright, so box. Yep, just got this in. We'll cut it open. The box is in nice shape. I don't believe it's damaged. Alright, so this piece is Power of the Force 2. Luke Skywalker, obviously. I mean, that's what I collect pretty much exclusively, other than Han Solo. So, take a look at this. Let me turn the camera around. Alright, get this out of the box. Okay, camera back. Alright, so I love it when people use bubble wrap. If you're going to ship a mock, put it in a box, number one, and then use bubble wrap. Alright. Alright, so I got this from this gentleman. So I got it from A to Z. Interesting. Anyways, Adam, thank you for using bubble wrap. Alright. So, this is a Power of the Force 2 bootleg. It is the Star Wars Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker with skiff. This is the deluxe package. I'll turn it around and I'll show you. I actually have the official release version right here. Deluxe Luke Skywalker with desert skiff. And we'll show the bootleg. There we go. Alright, so the official release is the one to the left here. The deluxe Luke Skywalker's Desert Sport Skiff. So this is the official Kenner, I guess, Kenner Tonka release. And this is the bootleg version. I started to collect the once I had all the official Kenner Tonka releases of the '95 Luke Skywalker. I started to collect the bootlegs as well, and I'm working on collecting all of them. Let's see, what's the real differences here? We got, actually, for a bootleg, this is pretty damn nice. What's on the back of this thing? And on the back of the official. By the way, for these deluxe figures, these deluxe Power of the Force 2 figures that are bigger than the traditional single figure. Do they make ProTech cases for these deluxe figures? Because I have several of them, and I'd like to have ProTech cases, the clamshell cases for them, but they're an odd size. So if you know if they make a ProTech case or star case for these, let me know and leave it in the comments for me. Thank you. Alright, so this bootleg is pretty damn nice. I mean, for a bootleg, right? It's really a well done knockoff compared to the original. The figure is completely different colored. Obviously, Luke, gray legs, green arms, tan chest, as opposed to tan legs, white arms, white chest of the Kenner release. So this bubble is squished a little bit, but yeah, very happy to add this bootleg to my Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker bootleg collection. All right, let me turn the camera around. Yeah, so very excited to add this to my bootleg collection. I'll show you a couple more bootlegs that I have. For the 1995 Luke Skywalker, I also have this figure. This is a Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker, but this is a Brazilian bootleg. And you can tell he has kind of a yellowish boots, hands, and neck. All white, similar to the Mexican bootleg, but a much higher quality. And he has a screw in his back, right there. So that's Brazilian Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker. Now the Mexican bootleg is probably the worst out of the Power of the Force 2 line. The Chinese, the Russian, the Brazilian are all much higher quality than the Mexican. This is a Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker Mexican bootleg. See, there's no screw in the back of this one. This only has 2 points of articulation, the Mexican one. Now, unfortunately, my paint is coming off his belt, coming off of his hair and his face and chest. I don't think the paint was very good quality. It looks like the boots were painted as well, but very low. The whole boot wasn't painted, just like the lower half of the boot. So this is the Mexican. And we got 2 more carded versions. This one I've had for a while. This is the Chinese Star Wars Shadow of the Empire Stormtrooper card. And you can see beige pants, brown boots, beige shirt, and white arms. So, and he's got that funny blaster there that looks like the one that goes on the bottom of the speeder bike. You know, the vintage speeder bike has a laser cannon underneath it that clips on with like a ball joint, and it looks like this weapon right here is a copy of that. Anyway, so on these Chinese Power of the Force 2, they come in they have like 5 different card backs, and I am trying to get them all. I've seen, the more common one, which is the the ATST driver is card back for all the different figures they put on it. Like this is a Stormtrooper with Luke on it. Well, the most common card back that I've seen is the ATST driver. They also have the Stormtrooper like this one. They have C-3PO, and that's pretty common too, but I've been unable to find Luke Farm Boy on that card back yet. Hopefully I'll be able to add them soon. Also, they actually have Luke Skywalker Farm Boy card back. I just saw that the other day. So if I could find the bootleg Chinese Luke on the Luke card back, I think that would be really cool. But I have not seen him on that card back, but I know that they do use it. Okay, so that's that bootleg. Next we have this one, and this is now Star Wario. As you can see, Star Wars, Star Wario. But that's a mouthful. So this has the, let's see if I can get that out of there, ATST driver, card back, Shadows of the Empire, Star Wario, and this is the Brazilian bootleg, Star Wario. So it's like the same figure that I have loose here, right? So this is the carded one, and this is the loose figure. So Star War Rio for what, Rio de Janeiro maybe? I don't know. So that is that figure. Now he comes with a couple of accessories. He comes with looks like a blaster pistol and a laser rifle. And the Chinese version just came with that blaster there that looks like the one that goes underneath the speeder bike. And he came with the pistol there, and a rifle here. There's a rifle as well in the Brazilian bootleg. So there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's at least 3 more card backs of the Chinese one that I need to find and locate. And I mean, more might pop up as I start looking for them. And it's easy to find them for other figures, but to try and find the Farm Boy on a bootleg card is kind of difficult. So, but I know I can find them on the C-3PO card, the ATST card for the Chinese version, not the Brazilian one that like I have there, and I'd like to find them on the Luke Skywalker card back as well. So that's the extent of my Luke Skywalker Power of the Force 2 bootlegs. Collection is starting to grow there. Excuse me. So now, since we have Power of the Force 2 out, I thought we would take a look at some Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalkers that are rare, or expensive because of the rarity of them. Your typical, Luke Skywalker is on a Power of the Force 2 card is not expensive. It's not rare. They made millions of them. But there's some variants of him that made him valuable, sought after, or rare because of the variation of them. So now, the most typical one that everybody knows about is this one. This is a AFA graded 80%, 1995 Kenner Star Wars Power of the Force 2 red card Luke Skywalker with the transition tray. Hang on a second, I'll spin the camera around. So, transition tray, obviously, if you're looking for a rare Power of the Force 2 card, it's this insert right here. This inner tray inside the bubble is long with a short lightsaber in it. So that means this tray was for the original release of this figure, came with a long lightsaber, right? So this tray insert was for that original long lightsaber. This is when they decided that lightsaber was too long, they came up with the short lightsaber, but they still had leftover inserts for the long lightsaber. So what makes this rare is that the inner tray for the bubble is designed for the original release long lightsaber. That's the only thing that makes this thing rare. But anyways, this is probably like one of the most valuable Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalkers. Also, this is a US card back, right? The US version. So apparently, being a transition tray on a US card back is even more rare than the tri-logo version. Apparently, in England, there was more of these leftover trays. So, according to a friend of mine, Blacked Out Ewoks, BOE, he told me that the tri-logo version of the transition tray was not as rare as the US version. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but I'll take his word for it any day of the week. All right, so that's probably the most commonly known expensive version of a Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker, right? Next would be the one I was just talking about, which is the tri-logo version of the transition tray. So this is ungraded, but it's in really nice shape. Of it, so you can see here, short lightsaber, long tray, and this is the tri-logo or English European release. So this is not quite as rare as the last one I showed you, but still extremely desirable and rare. All right, so those are two of the most expensive versions of the Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker, but I don't think they are the rarest. And I've come across one that is, in my opinion, harder to find and harder to obtain, and it's lesser known, which is this Luke Skywalker right here. Okay, this is a tri-logo. This is an original release with the long lightsaber with the long tray like the other ones, but this also has the long lightsaber in it. Now, what makes this one rarer than the last two that I showed you is actually this grappling hook blaster right here. This grappling hook blaster is extremely rare in that it is made out of gold plastic. So let me turn it around and I'll show you the typical blaster. Let me get my finger out of the way. You see that on this transition tray? That is a gray grappling hook blaster, and that's how they all are, except for this one extremely rare version of him right here, where it is made out of gold plastic. Let's see. See that? Let me see. Now I'm gonna need sunlight, I guess, which I have plenty today. Oh, almost too much. There you go. Gold. So it's harder to find that than it is to find this. See, that's gray. Gray. Gold. Gold. Gray. Gold plastic. Gray plastic. So I know it's hard to show that on camera, especially when I have them in star cases and stuff, but trust me, this is a gold blaster. You can see it quite well right there. See that? And this is a gray blaster. So anyways, it's a lesser known variant. Not very many people that collect Power of the Force 2 know that there are two different grappling hook blasters, a gray one and a gold one. Now this is on a European release card, so I'm not sure if it is only on European, if it was only manufactured by or for the European market that this plastic variant occurred. If at the factory there was a mix-up in the plastic and they produced a batch of the gold ones and they only got sent to the European market, or I don't know much about this variation. I just know that I've never seen it. This is the only one I've ever seen, and the only one I've ever seen for sale. I believe I bought this on the Power of the Force 2 Facebook group when I was still on Facebook. I'm no longer on Facebook, but when I was on Facebook, I was a member of the Power of the Force 2 red card group, and I saw this variation pop up for sale, and I bought it because it was the only one I've ever seen, and frankly I hadn't heard of it before. So in my humble opinion, this is rarer than the transition tray. But it's not the rarest Power of the Force 2 Luke that I own. The rarest Power of the Force 2 Luke that I own is this Luke right here. This is the only bagged farm boy Power of the Force 2 Luke that I've ever come across. I had to do a lot of research to find out what this figure was. I don't recall him ever coming in a playset or a game box or anything like that. So why he was bagged, I had no idea. Well, I found out now why he was bagged and what he was bagged for. Us had license from Kenner to produce their own 3D dioramas for their stores. So Kenner sent bagged versions of the first 6 or the first maybe 12 figures from the Power of the Force run to Toys R Us so that they could take them out of the bags and use them for their diorama. That's why they didn't send them carded figures, because it didn't make sense. They just threw a bunch in bags and sent them to the Toys R Us stores. Now, it took me a long time to find out, to do the research and to find out where these were from. So, if you collect Power of the Force 2, you might want to keep an eye out for these because they're pretty rare. And I'll put up some photographs of the specific Toys R Us dioramas. I'd love to get my hands on the actual fish tank diorama that was made for Toys R Us. That would be amazing, especially if you're a Power of the Force 2 collector. But you need to find these figures bagged as well. Now, in the diorama, they have the muscled up versions. They have the first 6 or 12 in little capsules at the bottom of the diorama. But the diorama that I have seen photographs of has these guys like down on the bottom in little capsules. And then in the diorama, they actually used the 1998? Yeah, 1998 muscled down versions. The second release where they weren't bulked up. They actually used the thinner guys in the diorama. It's like with the Millennium Falcon or whatever. And I'll put photos of that up here so that you guys can actually see the fish tank diorama that they had made. Anyways, to actually find one of these and own one, this is definitely the rarest Power of the Force 2 Luke Skywalker that I own. Rarer than the 2 transitions, the tri-logo transition, the US transition, and the tri-logo gold grappling hook blaster. This is a very unique figure, definitely, for that run of Power of the Force 2. So, thank you guys for joining me again. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're all healthy. And enjoy life, because it is short, my friends. We'll catch you in the next video. Alright, so I'm home. I'm editing the video that you are watching right now. I'm editing it right now. And I wanted to introduce to you the newest member of my family, which is Moose. He is a 11-week-old red dachshund. He's a standard dachshund. And right now he's keeping me company while I edit my video. So just wanted to say hi. He's sleepy. He's got to sleep on Dad's lap. Yep. So this is Moose. Have a good weekend.